Well, he still doesn't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs. But Frasier is back in the house. What's up, guys? I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com. This is a pilot review for Frasier, the revival. We've brought Frasier back. Just Frasier, though. There's no one else. No one else came back with him. Which is kind of interesting. Although, he was a spinoff to begin with, where nobody else came with him. And they gave him a brand new ensemble full of fresh faces. And ran for 10 years, and people ended up loving them. So, there's no reason to believe that this couldn't be that. Also, it has audio description on Paramount Plus, and hearing Frasier with audio description is amazing, because I've been rewatching Frasier. I couldn't get through 10 seasons of Frasier in time, but yes, I'm somewhere in the Daphne has realized that Niles likes her stage. I have never heard audio description on any episode of Frasier until now. And it's a game changer. There's a sight gag in the pilot episode that works if you're a fan of the original series. And there's a little play on words written on a sign that Frasier notices. And it's a nod to the old series. And it's something that nobody says in any line of dialogue. So without it, it's like a little Easter egg that we would miss without the audio description. So kudos to the audio description team on Frasier. As far as the series goes, let's talk about it. So I was a little disappointed to find out that after all the big news about how they got Perry Gilpin to return as Roz, that it's just a guest appearance. So he couldn't bring anybody along with him. He even has a backstory now where the person that Samantha, who he went to Chicago with, well, they're not together now either. They couldn't even, Samantha's not returning either. Nobody returned. The show opens with the death of Martin, and that is the actor John Mahoney actually died in 2018, so it was sort of like a necessary thing to kind of cover, because he was never gonna be able to appear in the show, because using people and scanning them as AI is stupid. So thank God we went this route with it. And Frasier is returning to Boston after his father's funeral, and for some reason with David, who is the son of Niles and Daphne, and he's grown up now, and he's kind of a lot like Niles, but also kind of, I don't know how else to describe him other than to say dumb. I don't really know how he got into Harvard. They've given him, or at least he says he has like a photographic memory, like he remembers everything. They don't really use that as a joke, other than the one time that he brings it up as a joke, where he's like, I can't forget that. I have a photographic memory. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a thing for him. But it's not. It's not like a running gag. Like, they don't use it again in the episode. And instead, he's just kind of a dork the whole episode. He's just kind of like out of place for an episode that's featured around everybody trying to work at Harvard, or Harvard trying to get Frasier to work there. He feels so out of place. There's this other character that's, I guess, an old friend of Frasier's that we've never met, who who works at Harvard, and he's like, Tanya. He's got a nice British accent. He's actually kind of funny. I didn't hate the character. I just don't know why he's there as a series regular. You know, it just feels weird. But I guess Frasier gets the best friend character now. So, yay! This is, I guess, in place of Roz, he's gonna have a British Harvard professor as a best friend while he works at Harvard. I don't know if the lady that recruited him is going to end up being a permanent fixture. She's not really necessary, so it's rather sort of, you know, unclear as to how much of the show she'll be in. She may just recur and come in and out. I don't know. But mainly, this is Frasier and his kid. His kid's got a secret. What is that secret? What is that secret? And man, they really string you along to try to, you know, hint at different things being the secret. And then when you actually get to the secret, I'm not going to tell you what the secret is, because then I just literally just don't even watch the pilot. I would just tell you everything. But Freddie, he's got a secret. And I was kind of like thrown by the fact that they constantly kept trying to make it into like some like M. Night Shyamalan like big mass twist reveal, because they kept coming in with things and they were like, it's this, no it's not that, it's actually this, but maybe it's not, maybe it's this. Just by the way that they suggest certain things and say things in certain phrases, and it just kind of felt like they were trying to make more out of something that when you finally get down to it, you're just kind of like, that's what he chose not to tell his father, really? That? Wow. Okay. And then the show ends. The episode ends in sort of an awkward grand gesture from Frasier. And we'll see. I'm optimistic. I didn't hate it. I thought there was a lot of humor there. It made me laugh, which is a lot more than I can say for a lot of revivals that have come along. I really wanted to like the Murphy Brown revival, but I'm sorry, it just didn't happen. And that's a great case for, do we need to bring the entire returning cast along? Because that one just never quite had the same magic as the original show, which is why it only lasted like one season. You know, that show was always Candice Bergen's, and they tried to bring everybody back, and it just, I don't know, just didn't work out. But the Frasier revival feels like something that could work out. Maybe, you know, I mean, Will and Grace did run for a couple seasons, but it did also have its original cast, because its original cast still had flavor and some chemistry, and you know, I don't know how long Frasier's gonna run. I would be shocked if this thing ran 10 seasons, especially since Paramount Plus just canceled iCarly after 3. So they don't really have a great track record of letting a revival run as long or longer than the show that it has been revived from. Probably the best, most long-running one we've had in recent years has been The Conners, and that still isn't going to touch Roseanne. So, yeah, we'll see. I think we're going to have some guest appearances from some people who may or may not want to be guest stars right now. Maybe they're waiting to see how the series lands before they commit to something. But if we don't see Niles and Daphne in this show, it's going to be weird. I mean, in the original Frasier, most of the cast of Cheers ended up on the show at some point. you know, just as a, hey, what's up? We decided to make a trip to Seattle. How's it going? You know, obviously Bebe Neuwirth is going to have to come in because her son is still on the show, so Maris is going to have to make an appearance. But yeah, I think we're going to have to figure out a way. And the fact that they've decided to make Niles and Daphne's son a regular on the show, it's going to be really hard for them to never visit him. For after a while, it's going to seem like, do David Hyde Pierce and do they have a problem with Kelsey Grammer? Is that, does Jay Leaves not like Kelsey Grammer? What's going on here? So they do a nice little nod, like a little tribute to John Mahoney at the end, which was really nice. Little tip of the hat to Martin, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know if it's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but I was very just sort of like, I don't know about this. Guys, I don't know about this. But yeah, so, and I decided to go ahead and give this a pilot review despite the fact that I lost 2 subscribers in the same day. What the fuck, guys? What the fuck? Come on now. Anyway, it's Friday the 13th. Here's your review of Frasier. I thought the show had pretty excellent audio description for a show that only has a couple places. I think there's a missed opportunity here for Frasier to reference Cheers. He kind of references it, but I was thinking they go to a bar in the opening episode, and I was like, what if that bar was Cheers, but not Cheers? Obviously, it's not Cheers, because Cheers closed. But it's whatever is in the space. And Frasier decided to, like, swing back by. And it's under, like, new management. And it's terrible. Like, somebody has changed it, but it looks... But, like, the layout is still clearly the set of Cheers. If they had gone to the extent for that gag, I feel like it would have been great. If Frasier was hanging out at whatever bar was in Cheers to begin with. It would be even funnier if it was always like a fish out of water situation for him. Like, maybe Cheers turned into a lesbian bar or something. And he keeps showing up. And it becomes a running gag. And they're like, why are you here? And he's like, I don't know anywhere else to go. I've never been to any other bar in Boston. This is all I ever know. Is this one room? Yeah, so kind of missed opportunity to go that route. But I'm sure also because they're in Boston again, it leaves open the door for some Cheers cameos. So I'm sure somebody from Cheers still lives in Boston. Who wants to cameo? Now that they don't have to fly to Seattle, I would think some actors who haven't been doing a lot of stuff, like George Wendt and Rhea Perlman, would love to slip into the new Frasier revival. But, you know, we'll see. But I am optimistic, and I think you should be too. So, I don't know that the cast immediately in the pilot of Frasier, since I was rewatching the show, I put myself in that, like, it's hard because it's a Frasier rewatch, right? So obviously from back in the day, I watched the series as a kid / teenager growing up, and I was very familiar with Frasier and the cast, and now it's more of a nostalgic rewatch. So it's hard to kind of put yourself on a clean slate and be like, did I love these people right out of the gate? You know? And I think it's going to take some time just to adapt to a new cast. I think that's just what you have to do with a spinoff when you take a character and throw them into a series with a bunch of new faces. And so I'm going to lean positive for a while and just hope that this cast manages the kind of chemistry that Frasier had. And at least it was interesting. So I'm going to give the Frasier pilot revival an A-. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. And it's a interesting start with new choices. And they've continued to make Frasier wealthy after he had a hit daytime talk show. He's wealthy enough to make a grand gesture at the end of the episode. So, we shall see how this all works out. But he should still be able to enjoy all of those finer things in life that he enjoyed in previous iterations of his character. So, although poor Frasier would also be an interesting experience. How does he enjoy things when he can't pay for them? So, yes. Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe, because apparently I'm going down. I was trying to hit 200 by the end of the year, but I went the other way. And so please click subscribe so I can continue. I'm trying to build a reach so I can keep talking about shows that have audio description, movies that have audio description, just audio description, and get that out there so we can get more of it. And I have a website, macmovieguyy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. You can go to X, Threads, and Instagram and follow me at Mac the Movie Guy. And you can go to theadna.org. That's the adna.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it. I will review something else. I'm not going to continuously review Frasier every episode. I was just giving you a little taste. So don't expect this to be a regular thing for me. It's a weird series to recap weekly. So I don't feel like it. But I wanted to give some thoughts on the pilot. So that's it. I will see you guys on the other side.